fuck. Man.
Well, his legs, Manny's legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah, and the
It's
hand
crazy.
speed, the power,
speed, everything.
I just always wish that the Mayweather Pacquiao fight would have took place many years before than when it did. You know.
Well, it also took place when Manny went into the
sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look at
Massive.
that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
I don't know.
You know, and
Seeing him beat Keith Thurman at 40 years old, like, God damn, this guy's great. I mean, just look at his career with 8 different weight classes, world titles eight different weight classes. 40 years old, beats Keith Thurman, who's in his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Got off PEDs when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, and he got starched.
But there's a two-sided story there. He got off PEDs, and he also found Jesus Christ. So he stopped going to strip clubs, he stopped hanging out with girls, but he stopped having fun. And then got serious about Jesus and got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
then he saw Jesus in that fight.
Jesus was like, listen, if you want to be a savage, you got to live like a savage.
Jesus like, I'm not even advising this, man. Just fucking do your thing.
Joe Rogan couldn't hide his absolute disbelief when he saw the shredded vascular physique of Manny Pacquiao ahead of the most shocking boxing return of this decade. The stakes for the September showdown against Floyd Mayweather are astronomical, but it's Pacquiao's age-defying transformation that has the internet completely melting down. Rogan was stunned by the sheer size of Pacquiao's calves and the explosive power he still generates, proving this is far more than a simple nostalgia trip.
Oh God, you know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
Massive.
at that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
And I know the reason why, because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big, because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger. But I understand, why his calves are huge. But he's always bouncing. He's always moving around.
Yes.
Like, he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down. And he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna appreciate his greatness.
Yeah, and coming back from defeats too. I mean, he's a guy that's had his downs. Yeah. He's had his ups and his downs, and he always smiling and always friendly to people. It's like he's so admirable just as a human.
There is a brutal hidden secret behind the physique that has Rogan completely stunned. Those legendary tree trunk calves aren't just a product of lucky genetics. Deep in the steep, unforgiving mountains of General Santos in the Philippines, Pacquiao has been putting his body through absolute hell.
It hurts me more than you, man. Bring one, Time. Will you start? That's a good massage. That's a deep tissue massage. Now it's tattoos. 10 seconds.
Early morning hill sprints, relentless shadow boxing, and violent heavy bag work have forged a stamina that rivals fighters half his age. Rogan pointed out that Manny's terrifying speed and raw power are still completely intact, defying the normal laws of human aging. While most retired athletes are enjoying their millions on private yachts or sprawling estates, Pacquiao is grinding in the dirt, proving his discipline is a year-round obsession. This isn't just a comeback camp. It's a masterclass in human endurance that proves he is far from finished.
Boxing, is really hard sport. When laziness comes to your body, to your mind, then stop boxing. Forget about boxing. But as long as you dedicated, you have fire, you have interest to punish yourself like that, for hard work, you enjoy doing hard work training like that, discipline, then go for it. Like, continue boxing, But
if you do that, you'll be successful.
Of course. But something like, comes to your mind, like, especially in the middle of like preparation, like let's say 2 months after 1 month training, it's hard, like, lazy.
I agree. It's not a sport you play.
But as long as you enjoy it, like like, you know, you enjoy, you happy doing it, like, I mean, go for it. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, when the time comes, like, come to my mind, my heart, like, I'm busy. Then forget about boxing.
But the absolute biggest bombshell of this event isn't just about who looks better on Instagram. The combat sports world was turned upside down when analyst Luke Thomas revealed a detail that changes everything. This is not a glorified casual sparring session. This is an official professional bout. Floyd Mayweather is actually putting his untouchable, pristine 50-0 record on the line. After years of fighting internet celebrities and MMA stars in low-stakes exhibitions, Floyd is risking his entire flawless legacy against his greatest historical rival. The pressure on Mayweather is suddenly astronomical. A single explosive combination from Pacquiao could hand the defensive genius his first official loss, permanently shattering the undefeated narrative that Mayweather has built his entire massive empire upon. Anything. When you risk that much legacy, the payout has to match the danger. This showdown is draped in the kind of staggering wealth and absolute luxury that only boxing royalty can command. Backed by a historic record-breaking deal with Netflix, this event is taking over the cutting-edge sphere in Las Vegas. We are talking about guaranteed purses well over $50 million for each fighter before a single streaming bonus or sponsorship check is even counted. It's a staggering display of financial dominance. Both men are fighting for generational wealth in a single night, turning the Nevada desert into a playground for billionaires, A-list celebrities, and the ultra-elite. It is the ultimate collision of high-stakes combat and jaw-dropping extravagance.
I asked earlier, why is this fight being made? And the answer is, on some level, relatively obvious. As I mentioned, they're broke, blah, blah, blah. But the other one is like, why is Netflix making this? Well, they want to get into the big live event business, and Floyd still has some popularity, Manny still has some popularity, and then together, they might be bigger than the sum of their parts individually, certainly at this point. And that might do pretty good numbers for them on the streaming platform. But this is what I mean. If this fight were on pay-per-view, I don't know if it would get made. I mean, in the end, it might actually get made, because these guys need money. There might be enough people who buy it to kind of make it work, or to, at a bare minimum, get an investor to put the money up. They lose their money, but some effort at making it is possible. But that would be a much harder slog. This fight doesn't have that problem. You don't have to pay for pay-per-view. Yes, you have to have a Netflix subscription, but a lot of people do. It's the biggest streaming platform in the world. The incentive structure in place, created by streaming platforms that are just looking for big name value, what will get people to tune in, what is a pairing that is available, just based on contractual availability and whatnot. And also, if we lower the barrier to entry to not exactly, but basically free.
Behind the flashing lights and massive paychecks lies a dark, calculated strategy that some insiders are calling totally ruthless. Veteran broadcaster Jim Lampley recently exposed a controversial theory about Mayweather's ultimate game plan. He suggested that Floyd deliberately waited 11 agonizing years to accept their very first fight, using time as a devious weapon to let Pacquiao age and lose a step.
It's such a smart thing, but also a devious thing. Waiting until Pacquiao was older, waiting till he slowed down, and then...
Devious is not illegal in boxing.
It's encouraged.
Devious can be an asset.
That's how you retire with a 50-0
I give
record.
Floyd credit for brilliance.
It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger, in his prime. It would have been a very different
Would have been
fight.
a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
Much more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Also the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder.
Money talks.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, or, I mean, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing. I think it was like 4 million buys or something crazy like that.
It was huge.
Yeah, give him a cortisone shot, throw him out there. Unfortunately.
Now, a decade later, the narrative is repeating itself. Some critics believe Mayweather is once again banking on father time to slow down his aggressive rival, preserving his own prime defensive reflexes while waiting for Manny's explosive power to finally fade. It is a highly controversial, calculated tactic that is rarely discussed openly, painting Floyd not just as a brilliant boxer but as a ruthless architect of his own legacy.